Another week and another episode of Pixel Perfect Gaming. This week, Pat and I talk a bit about EA and what they're doing with loot boxes. We ramble a bit about some of our life updates and things that are going on, and we talk about Steam and the summer sale, which is live now. So let's check it out. Hello and welcome to episode 26 of Pixel Perfect Gaming. I'm Chris.
Woo! I'm Pat.
What
Episode 26. Let's go.
Too hype. Too hype.
Told you I was ready.
I mean, yeah, you were. Wow. Caught me off guard.
That was my
Gave
goal.
me a little bit of a chill too. Like, I don't know. So weirded
like,
me out a
ooh.
little bit. Yeah.
Ooh, he is ready.
We're gonna have an episode today.
Damn.
Oh God. Pat, any updates for you? Life, cat, otherwise.
Nothing on the kitty. Life. No life updates. No.
Other than what you had mentioned about quitting the vape.
Oh
the
yeah.
vape quits, yeah.
Yeah.
So, wait, before I interrupted you because Liz was walking around. So you have to order the nicotine levels off of online. They don't have anything local.
So few people do the 1.5,
right?
That no place really carries it because no one's gonna really buy it. So that's why it's so hard to find local. So I have to start ordering it online, and I hate ordering online because I can't smell it.
I was gonna say because you can't see what it is. Well, they let you taste it and test it out at the stores too, don't they? Typically.
Well, they can't do that anymore.
Oh, well, shit.
Yeah, new law says that they're not allowed to do that anymore. But you could at least smell it, and you could get a general idea from smelling it. Now, because there's a lot of flavors where, they've been like, oh yeah, this is peach and pineapple sprinkled as some coconut in there and drizzled caramel, and I smell it and it smells like cinnamon, and then I'm like, no, I don't want that. But that sounds delicious. I don't know why the person selling it to me was from Minnesota, but that's what I went with.
A little concerning there. What about the trial box thing? Do they have the right nicotine levels for their kits? Do you still do that?
They only have it. They only go to 3s. Because not even all companies do 3s.
Huh. So you're just having a hard time getting down to the next kind of stage.
In all honesty, it's more. While it is a little more difficult, it's more me being lazy than it being difficult. To be honest.
Yeah. Well, at least you're being honest about it. I was gonna say. I mean, it didn't sound like that big of an issue. I'm sure it is accessible. Albeit annoying, but accessible.
Yeah. So the goal is to quit by the time I get married.
Cool. It's a good goal to have. I approve of that.
Thanks for the approval.
That'll save you a good bit of money too with the coils and all that good stuff. So
I honestly don't spend that much on vaping.
No?
Well,
how much do you think it is a month, overall for you?
I probably go through 2 coils a month. Sometimes less, sometimes more, but average, we'll say 2. Let me bring up my calculator here.
Oh, I thought you had an Excel spreadsheet where you were tracking your coil purchases or some shit. I was just going to be like, oh, let me see that spreadsheet, sir.
So they come in a pack of 5, and the pack of 5 is $20. So that's like $4 a pop. So there's $8 a month in coils right there, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then in juice, I probably really only buy juice once a month. Sometimes not even that much. And I usually spend about $30 on juice. So it's
about
$38.
$38.
Yeah. Sometimes a little more, sometimes a little less, but average we're probably about $38.
I mean, still be good money to put in your pocket. If you told me $10, I was gonna be like, I mean, that's whatever.
Yeah,
but
whatever. Don't quit. Vape away.
Yeah. Don't worry about the health concerns at any point. So,
Health. Who needs it?
Good plan, though. I like it. I mean, you're saying that now, but when you're 60, you might feel differently.
I plan to only make it to about 57.
Okay. I mean, that's fair.
So,
That's fair.
point is mute now.
What?
Said your point is moot now.
Oh,
I think I said mute.
You did say mute, and I was like, am I muted? I was very confused. Did I mute myself?
I'm
All right.
stupid.
So what else is new? Anything new for you?
No. I mean, besides
No?
like the league thing, we talked about that last week. I don't know if.
We'll talk a little bit about it in the loading screen section.
Yeah. Yes. Okay. So, what about you, buddy? How's the life? How's the you still Vikinging it up with your hair and beard?
Yeah. So let's see. Today's a little different for us. We typically record on Sundays. Today's Monday, so we both had a full day of work. So it's kind of like brains in a different space, kind of almost already tired.
Yep.
My beard is still growing out like fucking crazy. I put my hair up in a man bun like every single day now, so I'm basically a bearded samurai at this point. I'm like a week away from buying a katana and like running through my house, just unsheathing it like nonstop and just hoping that I don't kill something. So, yeah, I think that might be the next big purchase.
Speaking from experience,
with katanas and like unsheathing them and not killing people.
1 year for Andy's birthday. Have you ever heard of Rurouni Kenshin?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So I bought Andy a reverse blade sword for his birthday 1 year.
Oh shit.
And he fucking loved that shit. It was a great purchase. So you should do it.
What?
You thought that was gonna go downhill.
I did. As soon as I hear reverse sword, I'm like, oh shit.
He would just I bought it for him. It was either like after I think it was after our freshman year of college. I bought it for him, and he would just like stand in his room at college, just holding it by his side and pulling it out and going every time.
See, yeah, I can relate to that. I feel like that's what I would do. That's what I would do.
I mean, if you were to ask him directly, he would support your decision 100%. The only downside is whenever he now has a baby and he has to keep it hidden.
Well, I mean, it's not like the baby's using it. You don't have to keep it hidden. The baby's not going to unsheath it. You can use it until it becomes a child that might run around unsheathing your, double-edged sword. Yeah,
or you leave it out and you never know. You might have some fucking prodigy on your hands with a blade.
It's true. It's true. This reminds me of that State Farm commercial. Is it State Farm? I don't fucking know. It doesn't matter. It's got like Peyton Manning in it, and they're at a baby shower. And he's like, man, I hope it's a life insurance policy. And it ends up being like baby boots or whatever. And he's like, that's not a good gift. Like, that's not sensible. Baby can't even walk. And I'm like, you get it, Peyton Manning. You fucking get it. Because Liz and we talk about this all the time. And I was like, why do people buy clothes for babies? Fuck those babies. Put them in diapers. She's like, well, you can't take it out like that. I'm like, the fuck I can. It's my baby. What's the baby gonna do?
It's a baby. Like, who's ever looked at a baby and be like, put clothes on that baby? Everyone's always just like, cute baby.
Yeah, I don't need the pants on the baby. The baby's not walking. You don't need no damn shoes. I'm not spending all this money for baby clothes that you aren't even using. It's nonsense. It's nonsense. I don't like it at all.
I'm out here in full agreement. I think you should just buy babies a single hazmat suit.
Sorry, I thought you were just going to end it there. I think you should just buy babies. And I thought that was the end of it. And I was like, hold on. This is going a different direction.
I would like to backtrack and actually end my sentence.
We are not in support of just out there purchasing babies.
Well, adoption, though. I mean, I'll support adoption. You're kind of buying babies when you adopt.
I do. Yeah.
I mean, at the core of it.
I took Houdini to the vet last week.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
So she had to have her anal glands expressed again.
Ugh.
Which turns out once you have to do it once, it's like a genetic thing, could potentially just constantly happen. So like every 2 months forever now, I'm just going to have to take her to get her butt touched.
Great. I love that.
Yeah.
So much.
Yeah. I'm glad I don't have to do it. It's about all I care about, I guess. So
I don't care who's doing it.
Yeah, somebody do it. I'll give you the money, so it's fine. All right. So what are we doing on loading screen? I've played 2 things recently. Yep. 2 games. Okay. I was gonna give you a story, but I'll save it for. Are you fucking kidding me? So I got the Bloodshed. what is it? Bloodshed Ritual of something or another off of Steam.
Okay.
I got this. It's like a Castlevania style game. It's actually from the producer of the Castlevania series, like lead producer, Bloodstained Ritual of the Night. That's what it is. So it's kind of like a Symphony of the Night spiritual successor kind of game,
Okay.
which I love that game. So I bought it. Downside, I don't think it's worth $35. So I would maybe hold off, but is what it is. Still pretty fun. And then I booted up Spider-Man and realized I haven't finished the other two DLCs, and so I finished both of those this week. So that was good.
Did you stop because you were bored with it, or did you just like forget?
No, I had finished. I had finished the whole game, and then the first DLC came out, and it was kind of crappy. But I finished it and just kind of assumed the other two would be terrible, but they were actually pretty good. I like the other two. They did a much better job on those.
Cool. 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 Cool.
Yeah. What about you?
So I've still just been playing League and RuneScape. In RuneScape, I had got my construction up, and so you can like build a player-owned house in the game, and you
Mm-hmm.
can put useful things in it. You know, like things that give you unlimited teleports and like train skills better, yada yada, and so on. And so I trained my construction up to what I needed it to be, and Alex helped me get the stuff into my house. And because I didn't train it up to the actual level needed, we trained it up to the point where you can boost it up, so you can, like eat certain foods and potions and whatnot that will temporarily boost that stat up to a certain point.
Mm-hmm.
So that way we could build the things necessary. Because once like they're built, fucking like you could just delete the skill, and it wouldn't really matter once you have the things. It does nothing further for you unless they add new stuff. So I got that done, which was cool. Did a little more gambling.
Of course.
So I did it a little differently this time. Okay, a little differently.
Okay.
I did commission staking. All right. So staking in the game basically means you go to this place called the Duel Arena, and you fight someone one-on-one, and you do it with the same weapon. Like you have the exact same loadout, and you have the exact same stats. So it basically comes down to a coin flip. Of course there's RNG and PID and whatnot, but it's in the most basic terms, it's a coin flip. So my stats aren't high enough to do that. So I found a guy who would do it for me. He got 5%.
Let you bet money.
Yeah,
Cool.
I would give him the money. He would go and he would do the fight and everything. And then if we won, he got 5% of it. If we lost, then we both lost. And there's zero skill expression, anything like that within it. It is literally just it teleports you into the arena. Once the duel is accepted, you stand next to each other, click each other, and then just fucking wait until one of you dies. So you don't have to worry about finding someone who's like really good or anything like that. But
Right.
so I sat in a Discord call with him, and he shared his screen. That way I can see, that he's not just taking the money and then being like, "Oh yeah, dude, like we lost, bummer," and then
Oh,
just
fuck.
keeping it. So it was cool. I chilled with him for like an hour talking. He was a totally cool dude. I would stake again, just fucking chill with him.
Would steak again. 5 stars.
10 out of 10. Yeah, 5 stars. Where's that
Give
Yelp
that man a review on Yelp. Oh god.
So I did that. I came out up like 20 mil.
Yeah.
And then in League, I've been playing a lot of League because we've been doing a lot of practicing for that tourney. So we won our first match. We 2-0'd it. Pretty decisive wins. And now this week, tonight, in 3 hours, we have our other match, our second match. And this is the other team that also went 2-0 in their match last week. So it could be
stressful. Higher stakes.
Could be a harder match. Yeah. And so it's kind of like I was looking at the stats, and like they have their overall team KDA was a little higher, their gold at 10 was a little higher, their gold at 30 was a little higher, and then their awards per minute was also a little higher.
Gotcha.
So the awards per minute is just like, okay, you're better at that than us. But the other ones are like, were you just playing a team that's worse than the team that we played?
Yeah.
Because it's only one match so far.
Right. Or just had a bad. Maybe they haven't really, maybe they're not cohesive enough yet, or who knows? Maybe they'll come back and be the team to beat.
So, but we play them tonight, so I'm excited for that. I've been, scouting them out and everything, and I'm gonna try to stream that as well. Chris is gonna help me out with that after we're done recording, make sure everything's proper. But
which I would, definitely, because I remember last week I logged in thinking I was watching your stream, and I was like, I don't know who this person is, and I'm watching a jungler, and I was like, where's my guy? I don't want to watch this guy. So I'll be happier if you're streaming it.
I think I explained to you, but for other people who may have been confused by it, I was going to stream it, and then the league is ESD, the ESDL league. It's like the educational whatever something, or esports developmental league. That's what it is.
Nice.
They were like, oh, if you're going to stream it, like, please stream it through us, and, we'll give you an email and a code and yada yada, and it hooks our Twitch accounts, blah, 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 for the stream. And I was like, fuck that. Like, I'm not doing that. I don't give a shit. I guess I'm not streaming it. And then our jungler was like, oh, yeah, I'll do it. And then last second, they were like, oh, it's not working for the hookup, so just do whatever you want. And at that point, like, I hadn't tested any of my stream stuff out, and I didn't want to worry about it while I was playing the games.
Right.
To make, like, oh, can they hear me? Is it coming through properly? And fuck my shit up.
So are you just able to do what you want to do now? Like, they've just abandoned that plan, or?
I think so, yeah.
Oh, okay, cool. I mean, I wouldn't want to do that. It seems sketchy. I'm not, no. Don't want to be part of that. So off of, random topic here, have you looked into headsets, new mics or anything?
Yeah, me and Mike had a conversation about that, but
I know you and Mike had a conversation. I didn't know if you were like seriously looking into it, because so for the people that don't know, so Alex, one of our moderators on the Discord, basically was like, I don't hear shit, that's nonsense. And then Mike, the other moderator, was like, oh, I definitely hear something going on.
Mike's extra sensitive to it.
Well, Mike is an audio nerd in a sense. I mean, you're talking to a. Yeah, I mean, he broke out in detail, like, this is likely what happened, the scenario, and I'm sitting there like, I don't know what's happening.
What am I going to do with this, Mike?
Yeah, he's posting photos, and I'm like, is it fixable? What do we do with this? I don't know what to do with this.
Can I take this apart and just, like, I don't know, flip a switch? Yeah. What's going on?
So are you still looking into it, or are you thinking you're just going to sit with it, or what do you think?
I mean, I have to hold out.
Gotta hold out. I mean, if you quit vaping, save $40 a month. I mean, we're talking new headset here.
Well, dude, okay, so I mean, hey, your financial planning, Chris, spot on.
It is.
So, but I was looking, I'm watching all these different reviews, all these different mic tests, guys going through like 10 headsets and, here's how this one sounds. Here's how this one sounds. He was actually just reading this one book this whole time about like lawn care.
Oh, wow.
And all of the wireless ones sounded like fucking crap, man. The one I currently have sounded the best.
Just buy the same one you have again, and then just, I don't know, just don't let your cat eat it, I guess.
Yeah, but there were complaints about it before that even happened.
Were there? Well, I think that was just I partially blame that on like the editing ability of myself more than your audio than honestly anything else. Early on, I was just like, what's this button do? Do that. What's this thing do? I don't fucking know. Put that in there. Ah, shit, I already saved. I can't refix that. Fuck it. It'll be fine. So,
well,
I mean, the audio editing process was a complete shit show for a couple weeks there. I'm not saying it's still not, but it's less of a shit show, I guess. So, I don't know. We go to Best Buy, we can get another one.
Whoa, what just happened there? Your mic, dude.
What?
You're like, we'll come up, we'll go to Best Buy. I can't even
it's probably because I moved away from the mic.
It went fucking wild.
Good to know. So, anything else on the loading screen for this week?
Negatory, good sir.
So, moving on to gaming tech news, a couple like nonsense things that we do every month. Well, one nonsense thing we do every month, I should say. Releases for July. Yay.
Oh, thanks for the heads up, so I could
You're
fucking Google this.
welcome. Well, I mean, there's only like
We
10 games on the
Talked
list.
yesterday about what we were going to talk about.
Yeah, I didn't. I left that out of the loop. Although, okay, I will say Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3, The Black Order. I love the other Marvel Ultimate Alliance games.
Really?
I really do. I had the first one especially, but I really like them. So that actually might be a game I would consider for July.
That surprises me.
That because it's Marvel and like superhero-ish and stuff like that.
It's just
Yeah.
superhero.
Doesn't really seem like my kind of thing, but the gameplay is always like, I don't know, it's always fun. It's just wholesome fun, you know?
Interesting.
Expansion for Final Fantasy 15 Shadowbringers comes out in July, so good looking out on that. That'll be I'm sure that's going to be a lot of fun. I'm not going to play it, but I'm sure it'll be amazing for people that are really into that. Stranger Things 3 the game. I don't know how I feel about that. Looks like just a pixel game from what I can tell.
Meh. That's how I feel about it. Meh.
Yeah, that's about how I feel.
I'm totally pumped for the new season.
Yeah, which is July the 4th?
4th of July, it comes out, and I'm excited for it. I love Stranger Things, dude. It's so good.
Binge it all weekend.
I fucking might, buddy.
I mean, I don't blame you. I probably will, honestly. I'll probably binge it all weekend, although that's not the show that I want Netflix to come out with. So.
Although, you've seen season 2, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so the part is, for anyone listening who hasn't seen it, this really isn't a spoiler. This isn't going to ruin anything for you. That girl on the skateboard, you know, whatever her fucking name is, there's one point where they're like, no, you can't be a part of our gang. And she's like, why? And they're like, we have a girl. She's like, I can be the speedster. I was like, no, you can't. You can't be the speedster.
Oh my god.
That's already taken. That's the Flash. That's you know, all the Flash family. You know, you can't be a speedster. Fucking change it. Get out of here.
Get out.
At least, that's like funny. You know, give credit to it. Maybe something. I can't do it. Give
us something.
Yeah.
Tilted you a little bit, huh? Rubbed you the wrong way.
Like if the kid would have been like, "You're not the Flash," I'd have been like, That's why I love this show.
Yeah, that would have been better. Okay, I see. There's a Fire Emblem game coming out. I don't play those, but I think people like Wolfenstein Youngblood. That's probably pretty decent. And then Dragon Quest Builders 2, which I was already interested in the first one, but I never played it, so I don't know.
There's a Kill la Kill game coming out.
I don't know what that is. I saw that. I don't know what that is.
That's an anime.
Oh, maybe that's why.
It's a really like.
I've never seen any good anime shows translate over into video games very well. Like Attack on Titan looks like shit. Hack games.
I've heard that they came out with a second Attack on Titan game, and I heard that it was actually pretty good. I heard that the first one was but then I heard the second one was good.
There's a demo for the second one on PS4. I actually saw it the other day, and I thought about trying it, but I was like, I don't know. I've seen that first one, and it looked terrible.
I don't know. I've been around this block before.
Yeah, this is that one game all over again. What was that game? No Man's Sky. That game. I tell you, I think Orange Is the New Black is coming out with their last season too for July.
Me and Britt used to love that show.
Used to, keyword.
And then the season that started like the prison riot.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I was done.
I don't know what the fuck happened with that show, honestly. Like it was good, and then it took a complete fucking left turn and went some other direction. I don't even know what's going on. Now, granted, with the whole like, and this is a little bit of spoiler for people who haven't seen it, but with the one bad police guy and like that whole shit with him and, you know, him basically losing his shit and going crazy and taking people hostage. I like that part because I was like, yeah, look at that guy. He's losing his shit. But just the rest of it, I was like, what is the point of all this? So,
I mean, whenever the season ended with what's her name holding the gun at the guard, who was on the ground. Like I was like, holy shit! Like I was amped. I was pumped. I was like, I can't wait for next season. Like that was such like a good cliffhanger. What's
Yeah.
gonna happen? And then it picks up, and they're just like out in the yard, and they're just like, yeah, there's
It didn't even pick up from
wine.
the same moment. It was just like, oh, this is what's
Exactly.
going.
And then
You're
it
like,
just was
why?
fucking garbage.
Oh, nothing happened. Okay, well, why leave on such a cliffhanger?
It pissed me off. And just Piper's the main character, and as the season, like as the show went on, I
She gets
despise that
worse.
woman.
She gets worse and
I can't
worse.
stand her. Britt can't stand her either.
Yeah, I know what you mean. I'll
Right,
watch it
babe?
just for the sake of completion, probably. But I'm not exactly looking forward to it. So I'm mostly, for me, and this is, I mean, we're still talking about TV shows here, but I'm mostly waiting for a typical season 2. That's what I'm waiting for. That's what I want.
Atypical. That's the one where the kid has
Autism.
autism and his
Hmm.
parents like want him to get in a relationship or something, right?
I
Or
mean,
he like
kind of.
starts to maybe get in a relationship or something. Like, hey, there's it's like rom-com kind of deal, isn't it?
Sorry, season 3, not season 2. It's not really a rom com. No, it's just kind of a wholesome. It's like a wholesome show about a kid with autism.
Oh, it's a
Realistically,
wholesome show about a kid with autism, babe.
yeah, it's I really like it. As someone that says
Chris
words
loves
that,
it.
yeah, I love it. It's one of my
We
favorite shows.
I j- I had like watched a trailer for it whenever it was first coming out. I was like, here, babe, we should watch this together. We watched like 10 minutes, and she was just not into it.
I watched it one weekend, just kind of like, because Liz was in Italy, so I was just kind of bored, and so I watched it, binged it the whole weekend, and then she got back. I couldn't shut up about it. We watched it all again, and I was like, "Fuck yeah!" I'd do it again, honestly. Maybe I will now. I love it. You gotta check it out.
I don't know, maybe.
Anyway,
It's not really a solo me kind of show.
the two of you should check it out. I'm surprised Britt hasn't watched it. That's kind of disappointing to me.
I'm surprised that she didn't like it either. Guys, do
What
you
a
really
bummer.
have to use the litter box at the exact same time?
Yeah, same time. All right. So, July games, we got that out of the way. Steam sale happening tomorrow. I think it's running for 2 weeks, something like that. So if you've been thinking about picking up anything, check it out on Steam. There's
I thought it was 1 week.
nothing. Maybe it is 1 week. I thought it was 2 though. I don't fucking know. Is there anything that you're thinking about getting though?
Nothing in like particular besides maybe like Devil May Cry if it goes on a
Yeah.
really good sale. Because I just, as much as I love the game, I have such a hard time popping up $60. Um, and
Well, for a
also,
game that doesn't have a lot of replay value, I mean, typically it's a solo experience, and then it's kind of bit like cool.
yeah. But I always like to watch out for like the small indie games that pop up for like $2 or $3.
Mm-hmm.
Because you can grab them, give them a shot, and if it's garbage, whatever. I paid $2 or $3.
Yeah, so it says potentially 2 weeks it's going to be running, from what I saw. So pretty decent. Yeah, I
What day
don't
does it start?
know.
It starts tomorrow. Doesn't
Tomorrow,
it?
yeah, it starts tomorrow. Do you like city builders, like survival city builders, Age of Empires, stuff like that?
I did. Ow. I used to really enjoy Age of Empires. Played the second one a lot. But then like I have Civ, not the most recent one. So I think I have Civ 5 because I think Civ 6 is out. So I have Civ 5. I don't know. It doesn't really do it for me.
Have you seen Frostpunk, the city building like survival game on Steam? That's like Ice Age kind of like you have to survive the frost and the Ice Age, and you're freezing to death and stuff like that.
I haven't, but I'm opening Steam now to go take a look at it.
You should check it out. It's 50% off right now. I have it. I've actually put a good amount of time into it. It was a lot of fun.
Frostpunk.
Frostpunk. So that was a good one. So the Steam sale starts tomorrow. One that I'm looking forward to that I kind of hope goes on sale, it doesn't come out till November, is Planet Zoo. You know what that
Interesting.
is?
No.
It is a tycoon zoo park game. I am excited.
Really into those tycoon games, aren't you?
Sometimes I don't know, but I get to have like there's hippos and stuff. The trailer shows hippos pooping.
Oh yeah, the hippos are what really.
Well, I mean,
Did you see
realistically, what I
that?
want is I want
Okay.
to put
Well, the way
like
you held it up was like, ew, gross. Look at this. That's why it really threw me off. Sorry, Britt just came and like held something in my face for me to eat, and I was like, I don't know what to do. What is it?
The no, ideally for me is like I want to have like a pen of lions, and then whatever they would kill, like right next to them, and see if they go ape shit and try and kill each other all the time. That would be good.
You should.
I don't know. Tycoon games are fun. I like them. They're pretty cool.
Something I never really got into, but at the same time, never really played them.
Well, that's your problem right there.
So maybe I would enjoy it, but also maybe not.
Yeah, I mean, there's some city building games out there that are pretty cool too. City Planner, stuff like that. So, yeah, Steam sale, Planet Zoo. I think the only other thing on the docket, other than "Are you fucking kidding me?" this week, was the EA trying to rename their loot boxes. Just their,
What was it? Surprise mechanics?
Surprise mechanics. Yeah, they're not loot boxes; they're surprise mechanics. And I saw this comment on. No, it's from a YouTube video, I think, and they're like, "It's not a murder; it's a surprise funeral." I was like, "Good lord!" Like that's basically what's happening here. So, yeah, they want to rename their loot boxes surprise mechanics to try and get away with it, which is terrible. They've also claimed numerous times that their loot boxes are not gambling. It's not gambling, guys. It's not gambling, which of course always looks good when the company making it says it's not, something like that, even though Belgium ended up, I think, banning FIFA because it was in direct violation with the company's gambling or the country's gambling laws. So, yeah, it's not gambling, but Belgium's like, nah, not for us. It's gambling. So we're going to not have that.
Interesting. Well, I don't know. I don't really have an issue. I mean, like I said, I don't have an issue with loot boxes as long as it's not like pay to win.
The only issue I have is that it impacts a lot of people negatively. Because I mean they're manipulating people intentionally. They're trying to take advantage of people intentionally. They know exactly how they're designing their content, and I think it takes away from what games are supposed to be. We're supposed to have entertainment out of games and enjoy them, and they're supposed to be fun. And EA kind of takes the stance of like, we don't need to make quality video games. We need to make addictive ones. We need to find a way to install loot boxes into everything we do to addict our customers and siphon money out of them. And that's just kind of like a ass backwards approach to me.
It's an aspect. I mean, I am a company. I want to make money. I'll make a game and I'll put things in it that people are going to want to keep buying, so I keep getting the cash flow. I mean, I get it.
I mean, from a strictly revenue standpoint, sure, but as like an ethical business model, I think there's some flaws there. But I don't think EA is particularly concerned about the ethics that they have.
I mean, if you take take EA's name off of it, right? Because I just feel like EA could be like, "Hey guys, we found the cure to world hunger. We're gonna, we're working on rolling that shit out by like next week. It's all gonna be over, and it'll probably bring about world peace." And just the fact that it's coming from EA, people would be like, "Yeah, I don't know. Where's the DLC? Like, it's just
where's the loot box for it?" Yes, I agree. I think EA has tarnished their own name and their own reputation, absolutely. But I think there are a lot of people that stand up against the idea of loot boxes in general, regardless of what company's doing it. There are certain ways to get dopamine to your customers and keep them coming back, but siphoning money out of people that are just easily addicted to content is not the way to do it. I mean, they're taking advantage of people that are susceptible to that kind of stuff. I mean, there are people that feel they feel compelled to spend money over and over and over again and get satisfaction out of life by loot boxes because they're being taken advantage of by the system that they've designed to do that. And while it may not impact a lot of people, because it doesn't impact a lot of people, it's typically, I mean, it kind of follows the Pareto principle where they're really shopping for the 20% of consumers that are going to make 80% of the revenue for them. So it doesn't impact everybody, but just because it doesn't impact you doesn't mean it's not an issue and doesn't mean it doesn't exist. And so I don't think you should ignore things just because you as an individual, it's like, it's not a big deal. Like, I don't know. It impacts a lot of people really poorly, and I think that's kind of fucked that they decide to do that.
Now, is it so do you think like that companies shouldn't be able to do loot boxes, like period?
I mean, it depends. So they are trying to do bans towards children, which is what I'm more concerned about. I do think that there are a lot of adults out there that are not in the right frame of mind or have addictive personalities, or because not everybody shares the same mental faculties. So there are a lot of adults out there that probably are more vulnerable to this kind of stuff, and it's still taking advantage. But especially kids, I think, are the big issue, because when you look at stats and you look at kids that are introduced to things like any kind of addiction creating thing a young age, especially in their teenage years or like young years, they're more likely to become addicted to it, like alcohol and smoking, drugs like that, stuff of that nature. If you introduce it to a kid when they're 13, they're more likely to grow up with a dependency on those things, and this is the same kind of issue.
I mean, so I have no qualms whatsoever with calling loot boxes a form of gambling. I don't have any issues with that. So like, I don't care. Kid, sure, kid can't go to a casino and gamble, so the kid shouldn't. Sure, whatever. Apply
Yeah.
the same law there. I don't care.
I'm more worried with the kids, and it's complicated because I mean, obviously, if a kid shows up in a casino at a blackjack table, it's like, no, 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 get that fucking kid off of there. But a kid goes into a GameStop and buys a game, whether they card the kid or not, we don't know. They may get away with it, or a parent who doesn't know anything about the game or isn't knowledgeable about it, they buy it. Which obviously, some of the responsibility obviously falls on the parent because they should be aware of what they're delivering to their kid or what their child is doing. But at the same time, it should also probably fall on the company a little bit for their practices that are predatory. Like, okay, we can't just we can't just blame the parent for every little thing that goes wrong when the company, should get a little bit of grief for intentionally designing practices that will kind of fuck people.
I don't know. I don't know where I stand on that. Because it's like, they can make their loot boxes and everything, and they got their deals on them, and it's a gamble and yada yada, and it's like if they were to put the proper checks and everything in place to try to keep kids from being able to do it. Kids are people are always gonna fucking find ways around it and whatnot,
Yep.
but they put their checks and everything into place and do their due diligence, then I can't really hold anything against them.
That's if they were to do that. Yeah. And I mean, I more advocate for the banning of it regarding children than just overall. I mean, I wouldn't be opposed to them just banning it overall, but I'm more opposed to it being so accessible to children than anything else, because I just think it's, you already have phone addiction, which every time there's a notification on your phone for your Instagram or your Facebook, you get a dopamine hit. So we're already giving children phones at 10 years old, 9 years old, and they're getting dopamine hits from Facebook and all kinds of shit like that. I'm like, so we're already addicting them to technology. Like, we don't need to further the problem. Like, you think people are fucking face down their phone now, give it 10 more years. Like, Jesus, it's going to be a real big issue in the future.
Well, I mean, so if you have an issue, if you are saying, you know what, I wouldn't have a problem with them banning loot boxes. I mean, should they close casinos too?
Well, for me, the casinos are easier to regulate in the sense that they have cameras everywhere. I mean, kids are not walking into casinos, at least more often than not, sitting at a blackjack table gambling at, age 12.
Yeah. Okay.
So that's a
Oh,
little bit
I guess.
different to me than having something that's easily accessible where a child could get on a PS4 while their parents are home, download, play a game that the dad plays without the child knowing it, or spend money on loot boxes because the parent's account is attached to it or the credit card's attached to it, and they're just out there spending money in Overwatch all the time without the parents knowing or recognizing that their funds are attached to that account.
Yeah, but gambling is also like casino style gambling is also very accessible. There's tons of online casinos now.
There are, yeah. I mean, there are a lot of online casinos too. But I mean, so it's the same kind of thing where a child could get on a computer where a parent has already set it up. But granted, you have to have a profile for a lot of those things. So I still see it as less accessible than actual video games. You just put a disc into a console and you can play it. Because typically, any kind of online gambling I've ever seen, you have to have a profile, and typically they want your credit card on file and all that kind of stuff. And if you're 10 years old, like, you're typically not going to have that kind of stuff available. Unless you're a resourceful little shit.
That was me, man.
You were gambling 10.
You know what?
That
I
explains
pop
so
out the
much
womb
about
and
you.
I was like, Dad, where's that roulette?
Where is it at?
I can understand the outlook of we should regulate this better so kids are, you know, being taken advantage of because they're fucking stupid and blowing all their parents' money because oh, parent better. But yeah, I'm a dad and I have my card hooked up to my account, so I can rent movies and pay for things in the games for me, and then my kid knows how to get around certain things to get to it, and that's not bad parenting in my book. I mean, bad parenting is like, hey, Stevie, here's my credit card, dude. Don't do anything with it. Just hang on to it, though. That's all right. You're asking for fucking trouble there, but I can understand. Like, hey, we should probably let's do some things here
I
to
think it should be better regulated at least.
That's
I
what I'm
mean,
saying.
and the
Let's
thing
do
that's
some things here to
frustrating,
regulate better, and then whatever. If they
yeah.
do that, whatever.
Well, and I mean, from the other side of the argument, just regardless of the loot box, like the quality of game goes away where these companies are not making good games. They're just making games that they can make more profit off of. And so as a gamer, that's pretty frustrating by itself. And you could argue that nobody really wants loot boxes. I mean, most people give them a really hard time and they're annoyed by them, whether they buy them or not. They're kind of aggravated by it. No one really wants it. But companies insist on doing it because they find the handful of people that they need to find that will shell out a ridiculous amount of money for whatever reason.
Um, hmm.
Struggling there. Have you not given much thought to this topic?
I
You
don't
have
know.
to sit on
I've
it.
just always been so into the mindset of like, sure, they should probably regulate it better. And if they did regulate it better, then whatever. But you know, uh, until that happens, you just gotta fucking watch your shit. I guess has always just been the way I looked at it.
Which I mean, for you individually, that works fine, but it's not like that for everybody, unfortunately. I mean, it's hard to. I think it's difficult for us, like, meaning you and myself, to step into the role of somebody that's easily hooked on something.
Oh no,
You
no, no!
know,
I have a very addictive personality.
I don't know if I would call your personality very addictive.
No, it is.
Hmm.
I will be very self-aware on that. I know I have a very addictive personality. If I start doing something and I like it, I just fucking dive full head first into that shit.
So well, then
I
why do you struggle to see the perspective of like people could be easily addicted to loot boxes and like shell out shit tons of money that they
No, no, no,
don't
I do
necessarily
see it.
have?
I do
Oh,
see
okay.
it, but I guess it's like I have, which is maybe a little bit of a closed mindset, and I won't go against that, whatever. But I can control it. There are many areas out there for you to be able to get help to control yourself. I don't know. I feel like there's a point where you got to start blaming people and not blaming companies and not blaming other
Yeah.
people. Like so I guess if you can't control yourself, I get it. Not everyone can control themselves. Some of these things are hard to resist. All right, so there are avenues for you to take to learn how to control yourself, to get help for these things. And hey, not all of them require money. It's not like you can say, well, I can't afford it, because not all these things require anything. So you have avenues, you have the possibilities to get help. And some people just won't do it. And at that point, I blame them.
Right. Yeah, I think there's a point where some people obviously don't do everything they need to do to correct their own issues. It's a hard I don't know. It's hard to kind of step out and see the perspective of everybody else that when you don't live the world of everyone else.
Yeah.
It's challenging. So, no, I mean, it's mostly from a kid's perspective that I'm worried. I don't like the practices at all. I think the games that are made when they're focused on these practices are garbage, and it kind of ruins what I like about gaming. Um, and I think I consider it unethical and predatory. But you know, it's not something I think is going to go away. I think even if they've regulated, it's not something that's going to go away by any means because everyone finds a way to do it. And everyone finds a way to do what they want to do, regardless of the restrictions and stuff.
I mean, and there's other countries out there who have regulated it. Have said that this is gambling. You have to release, all of the chances of getting these certain things because
Mm-hmm.
since it is gambling, you have to legally give them the information of here are your chances of getting XYZ, yada yada, and cool. I support that. I think we should do that shit. I think like Riot, they have their Hextech chests. They're basically loot boxes. You know, you can pay for them. They have ways you get them for free as well. And there was a country, I don't remember what country it was, but whenever they put that in place, Riot had to do that for them. And so they were just like, what the fuck ever, let's just do it everywhere. Let's just release the information. So they did.
Right.
And I think, a lot of other places should have definitely done that as well. But there also comes down to, whenever I had been reading about that stuff at the time, they can do, let's just say the country's Lithuania, because that's the first thing that pops to my head for some reason. Don't give me that look because I said Lithuania. They can, over there, they can say, all right, well, it's a 10% chance for this, 1% chance for this, 30% chance for this. But then here in America, it could be totally different percentages and they don't have to release it.
Right. They don't have to tell us anything about it.
Yeah. So, I mean, I think they should have to tell you the percentages and stuff.
Yeah. At least be upfront about it. I mean,
transparent. Yeah.
Yeah, I could see that. I don't know. It's a complicated topic, I think, for a lot of people.
I agree.
But I don't think it's anything that's going to be fixed anytime soon. It's just something we have to deal with. I just think that there are some companies that recognize that it's not particularly favored and they steer away from it. And there are some companies that are just like, fuck it, we do what we want. And, they do what they want and that's fine. That's their prerogative. They can absolutely do that. So hopefully the people that don't want to support that, they decide to not give them their money. But I fear that still happens anyway. I fear that people bitch about the loot boxes, but then buy the games that they bitch about regardless. And it's just like, what is the point? What is the point?
What is the point? What do you say I don't pay?
Do you have anything for Are You Fucking Kidding Me this week?
No, it's been a good week of gaming, man.
You've had a good couple weeks. Like a good month almost.
I made money staking. RuneScape's been going good. Got some skills up. Got that house made up with the help of Alex. League's been going well. We won our matches. I haven't really been playing solo queue because ever since I got into the league and I've gotten into the team play of things, I'm just like, all I want to do is play with my team. I don't want to play by myself. Fuck that. I want to play with my team. So I haven't really been playing that solo, and the team play's been going well. We've only had one bad night, and now that was last night, and today's our games. But I think we played like 4 or 5 games. We only won one of them, but we were trying new stuff. We were like, all right, let's try new comps. Let's try to broaden what we can do, and so it was expected to lose. Maybe not expected to lose, but we're not surprised by losing. Right. So it's been going good. I got no complaints.
Sounds good.
What about you? I know you got something.
Yeah, it's a little bit of a bummer for me. So over the weekend, I was bored, wanted to play something. I was in that mood where you want to play something, but you don't know what you want to play. But you want to play something. Yeah, and so I'm sitting around like I want to play,
and then close them right away.
Yeah, and so I booted up my PlayStation, which I hadn't done in a while, and I'm just looking at the games on it, and I downloaded the Handsome Jack collection because it was free, so I was like, I'm just going to download this so I can, get it in the future if I ever want it. And I was just looking at the other games. I'm like, I got Spider-Man, and I think the only other game that's on my actual PlayStation downloaded was Binding of Isaac. So I was like, Binding of Isaac, I haven't played that game in a while. Let's boot that up. See where it's at. I noticed as it was booting that the trophies were only 80% or 90% or something. And I'm like, really? I thought I was a lot further along on this game than that. So I kind of got into it. I looked at all the characters. I looked at what I'd beaten, and I'd finished it. I'd finished every character on hard. Every boss and everything. So I was like, okay, well maybe I'm missing a challenge for the trophy. Scan through the challenges. I've got those. So I'm like, okay, maybe, well, let me just check the trophy. So I checked the trophy. The trophy's like, you need to finish all the endings and collect all the items and, that kind of stuff. And then the other trophy was like, finish the game basically. So I'm like, okay, cool. 2 trophies. Okay. So maybe I'm missing an ending. No, I've got all the endings. I checked through the items, got all the items. So I'm kind of confused. I don't understand why I don't have these trophies. So I Google it. I'm like, okay, well, what's going on here? And I find an article being like, oh, Binding of Isaac trophies stuck, won't unlock. for completion, stuff like that. I'm like, shit. It's one of those things.
Mm.
So, okay, I read the article. The article's like, what you want to do, upload it to the cloud because it's got the upload download feature, in Binding of Isaac. And you want to upload it, delete the file, download it, and then it'll as soon as you start it up, it'll prompt the trophy. So I'm like, all right, cool. So we'll do that. So we go in, we upload it. Cool, no problem. Delete file, download it. It gives me a brand new game.
Oh no.
And I'm like, excuse me? That's not what I uploaded.
Oh no.
So I'm like, let me quit and come back in. Maybe it's a glitch. So I quit the game, I come back, I download again. Same thing. It just gives me a brand new file. It won't download anything that I uploaded. So I'm like, great. That's like 300 hours worth of Binding of Isaac that I'm never getting back. So that was a bummer.
Oh, buddy.
Yeah. That made
I don't
me
even know if
a
that's
little
an
sad.
"Are you fucking kidding me?" as much as that's more of just like a
fuck.
like, what do I do now? Who am I?
So I was like, I guess I'm never going to get those trophies now. So that sucked. It was lame. Granted, this is kind of, hindsight. Well, not really. Well, I guess hindsight is I could have downloaded it to another save file instead of deleting the one. That would have been a good move, but it's a little too fucking late for that, isn't it? But I guess the silver lining is that the PlayStation one that I did, like that was my backup game because I play most of it. I've played most of it on Steam. So my actual game is still on Steam, like the one, and I've finished all of that one too, and Afterbirth Plus. So at least I still got that one, I guess, but I'm still kind of bummed. Like, damn.
That's upsetting. I'm upset about that.
I would have to start all the way over to get those trophies.
Alex is going to hear this on Wednesday, and he's a completionist, and he loves Binding Isaac, and he's going to hurt when he hears that. I know he's going to come into Discord right away and just at you. Like, buddy, I'm so sorry.
I'm sorry for your loss. It's like a family member.
That's rough, man.
It was sad. It was sad. I was really disappointed. I was just like, it's one of those moments where you don't even say anything. You just kind of sit there and you're just like, God damn it. Do I even want to play anything after that? Like, I'm demoralized. Like, do I play Spider-Man? What if it just deletes itself? Like, what's the point of anything? Golly. I'm still feeling it too. It sucks.
I'm feeling it a little bit. Yeah.
All right, Pat, take us out of this episode so I can go feel sad somewhere else.
Well, on that note, everybody, thanks for tuning in for one more week. Episode, what was it, 26? Right? I was hoping you were timing it out. Honestly, I was kind of hoping you would.
26.
Whenever I said 26, and you didn't, so that's kind of ruined.
Yep, 26.
Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Let us know what you think of the loot boxes stuff. I'm sure everyone's opinion on it varies at least a little bit. So, tune in, let us know, and see you guys next week.